how do we as humans work to reinvent ourselves in order to remain relevant in the workplace?
That's a good question. I think that you have to get into work, and you really learn a lot of things, even that you don't learn at school, how it works and how people interact and what pieces of your product, your company's products go together. But if you're an engineer, it's easy. If you're an engineer, you're constantly designing new things, getting the latest manuals on parts that come from reps, your workmates, and talking. So it's really pretty easy to remain relevant and up there when you're working. One company can get so tied into the type of product they make that works a certain way, they have very difficult time when the world is going to take a new turn. It isn't going to take that turn right away. Things are going to be the same for a year and 2 years and 3 years. And then all of a sudden, the world takes a turn that was introduced years before. And if your company doesn't see it, that happens very often, that's what we say. Oh, they didn't see it. No, usually they're hung up with the way they're doing things now is making money, and they can't give it up. It's very difficult for companies to see something's going to be, let's say, easier and better. When I worked at Hewlett-Packard on scientific calculators, our calculators calculated in reverse Polish notation. Okay, this is a computer science term for solving equations. And we thought it made it more powerful. No, the only reason it worked in reverse Polish notation is because we didn't have enough room in the chips in those days to put in the program that let you type in equations you're used to with, parentheses, 5 plus 6 times 7. You couldn't write it the way you normally do. So we had calculators that we thought were more powerful. And when Texas Instruments, a competitor, came out with a calculator that did it the way you're taught in 10th grade, we laughed at it. It must be a toy. When the Macintosh came out, they said it's a toy because it has pictures on the screen. Well, this calculator, I thought I was the smartest one at HP the first day we had it. So I took the Texas Instruments calculator, and I took this big old equation that we use as a test. It's on a card to prove how powerful our calculators work. And I sat there and I said, I'll try it. I started typing I looked at the first term that would be satisfied, and I typed a bunch of parentheses to it, and I said, wait a minute. As I back out 6 parentheses, 5 parentheses, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, no human being can remember what level you're at in an equation. It's that difficult. You're in and out of all these things. You can't remember it all. So I cleared my head, and I said, let's look at the world from a new perspective. Let's pretend I don't know anything. What would I do? I said, this calculator has to be able to solve it. I typed that big equation, every single parenthesis, square root, everything, as fast as I could from right to left, from left to right, and it worked. I got the right answer right away. No, but the other engineers standing around couldn't believe me. I handed them each the calculator. Not one of them. I told them, do it from left to right. Type in everything you see on the card. Don't even think about it. But every one of them had to think. Once you've learned a skill of thinking a certain way, you don't get away from it when something's easier and you don't have to think as much. So that kept Hewlett-Packard out of that business for quite a while.